I blew out the candles one by one, each tiny extinguished flame feeling like a metaphor for the evening that might have been. The key sat heavy in my pocket as I locked Emmett's front door, testing it with a gentle tug before walking to my car. By the time I pulled into our driveway, the moon hung high in the night sky. The digital clock on my dashboard read 11:42 p.m. I'd spent hours driving aimlessly, trying to sort through my feelings about Emmett's gesture, while simultaneously reminding myself that a man was dead, possibly murdered by magical means. The paper crane familiar fluttered out of my pocket as soon as I killed the engine, its movements jerky and agitated. It circled my head twice before darting toward the house. "I know," I murmured, watching its erratic flight. "We've got work to do." Inside, I found Lovage curled up on the couch with 3 old grimoires stacked beside her, while Angelica paced the living room floor, wireless earbuds in, listening intently to what I assumed was echo chambers music. "Where's Aunt Hecate?" I asked, setting down the container of untouched coq au vin. "Upstairs," Lovage replied, not looking up from her book. "She still hasn't said a word about what upset her earlier. I'm pretty sure she's asleep, though." I pulled out my phone, checking the time again. "We need to go to the cemetery, now." Angelica yanked out her earbuds. "At midnight? Classic witch behavior, real subtle." "The magical residue will be strongest at night," I explained, already heading to the closet for my boots. "And with fewer people around, we can properly examine the scene." The paper crane darted frantically around the ceiling light, its shadow dancing across the walls like a trapped spirit. "Your little friend seems stressed," Lovage observed, closing her book. "It's been like this since the cemetery this morning," I said, watching its erratic movements. "I think it's sensing the magical disturbance." As my sisters gathered their coats and bags, I found myself absently touching the key in my pocket, mind flashing between candlelight and china plates, and the body arranged in a ritual pattern on cold cemetery ground. I parked my Volvo a good 50 yards from the cemetery entrance, tucking it behind a cluster of oak trees where the shadows would swallow its outline. "Let's move quickly," I said, popping the trunk to retrieve my leather messenger bag. "The magical traces will be strongest at the stroke of midnight." The night air carried a sharp October chill, but the real cold came from somewhere else. I felt a subtle wrongness that prickled against my skin. The cemetery's wrought iron gates loomed ahead, their decorative spikes like black teeth against the midnight sky.